Hi, yeah, it's Jason from Jason's Jungle. So what's happening today? I'm sowing my elephant garlic. Sowing some seeds in the greenhouse. Moving on my perennial kale seedlings. And I'm going to be harvesting stuff. This is the bed that I'm going to be putting my elephant garlic into. I've went and forgot me camera tripod mount, so I actually can't set this up while I'm doing it. So I'll just talk you through what I'm going to be doing. So in here I've got my elephant garlic. I've got these, which were monobulbs. These grew from corms that grew the year before. So these should hopefully split into nice heads. Whereas in here I have all of these, which grew last year from corms. So these should hopefully grow into these monobulbs. Okay, so I've mixed in some bloodfish and bone and some chicken pellets, and I've just laid out where I'm going to put the elephant garlics. So the first two rows, these are the corms down here. So those won't get as big as the other ones will. So I've got them a bit closer together. They're about 4 to 5 inches apart, and there's about 10 in each row, so there's about 20 of those little corms there. The monobulbs that I got last year, I've planted out about 6 inches to 7 inches apart, rows about 6 inches apart, and all I'm going to be doing is basically making a hole. It's a few inches deep, and popping the bulb in and then covering it over. So I'll get on with that. I've switched over to using my phone because I've managed to find a mount for that. So they're all put in, a couple of inches deep, and you notice I've got these cheap fence edgings for the lawns. I put these in between crops, so when I come to harvest I know the difference between one variety or another, or things like the corms versus the monobulbs. So I'll have these, and when I do the garlic in the rest of the bed, I'll also have these in between the different varieties of garlic. These are those red beard spring onions that I mentioned in the August seed list. I'm going to plant them out here in this bed here. Now I know this has got beans in, and you're supposed to put onions and beans together, but the beans are almost ready. Well, they're well on their way, and I don't think it's going to have enough time to affect them from the extractions from the roots, because apparently the antibacterial products in the roots of onions and alliums can interfere with the bacteria on the nodules of beans. Now I think they've probably got all the nodules done and are using the nitrogen now to do all their beans, so I think it should be safe just to plant these spring onions out for over winter. So I'll just set the camera down, get it set up and plant them in. Okay, these spring onions have been planted into these cardboard or compressed paper pots, and as you can see here they are bursting through. So hopefully once I plant these, they'll just roots will keep coming out, and they'll just go on and the pot will break down. So I'm just going to basically scrape holes in, pop it in, push it down, maybe tear the pot a little bit without damaging the roots. So I'll do that with all these. And the final one, now let's see where I'll put it. I'll put it down here. I should have enough space to grow into reasonable size onions, or spring onions, not proper onions. As I said in the seed roundup, these are Welsh onions. I can never pronounce them, but it's not a bulbing onion. So unlike some that will form, smallish bulbs, some spring onions, these won't, but they will split and multiply if there's any left that haven't been eaten. I just want to see if you get that colour, or what you have to do to get that colour, because that red, white and green onion just looked fantastic. Okay, so I had a rummage round for me mount for my GoPro. Couldn't find that. It's amazing what you find in your pockets. First of all, I found a different camera. I found my Yi 4K Plus. It's an old camera, came out just before the Hero 6, but it's still pretty good, and it does have a 1/4-20 mount. So I've managed to mount that up here, you can probably see there, and that's going to be doing an overhead shot. The other thing I found is this, a spare tatty. Chitted well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick in the pot here, and then go it on, and once it's going nicely, I'm going to put it into a flower bucket. So that'll give us the last harvest of the year of spuds, hopefully. Now I'll put that aside and I'll water it later on when I do anything else. And what I'm going to do now is just do a few little pots, a few little trays of seeds. I'm going to sow my winter spinach, giant winter. I'm going to sow some manuba. I'm going to sow some mustard leaf, green in the snow, and I'm going to sow that very interesting sounding mix of lettuces. So I'll just get on with them. So let's start off with the mustard, green in the snow. This has about 50 seeds, which is probably more than I need, but this is for more veg. I do like more veg because you can try different things without costing you a fortune. I mean, most of the packs are about 75p. I'll use all these. So 75p for, potentially 50 plants. If you haven't tried it before, it's good, and it's about the right size for an allotment. These seeds that come in packs of 1,000. It'll take me years to use 1,000 seeds. But sprinkle these on, press them down to the surface, and then find my right label, and that's the mustard done. Next I'm going to do manuba, again 50 seeds, so I will use the full packet from these. Next will be the spinach. Doesn't say how many. 300 seeds. Yeah, I definitely don't need to plant all of these ones. Just find the best way to get into it, so that they don't end up all over the place. This is from Just Seeds. Another one I use quite often. Not as much as I think Real Seeds and More Veg are probably my two favourite ones. And I'll put these aside and I'll come back and water them later on. I don't know if you're like me, but most of the seed trays you get nowadays, they're really thin and flimsy, and I find that the burst ones when I'm trying to pack in the soil, and they never last more than one sitting because they just fall apart on us. Well, I went and bought these. These are from Container Wise, and they are nice solid. I mean, that's not going to disintegrate when I'm packing it in. They also have nice big poke holes so that you can push them out easier, and these little slats on each thing, each module, they're supposed to stop the seedlings from getting root bound and spiralling. So like I said, they're really nice and solid. More expensive than the flimsy ones. I mean, you can get 10 of them for a couple of quid. These were about £4 or £5 each, but having said that, they will last me more than 100 of them will. And of course it's reusable. So I'm going to fill these up, and what I'm going to fill them up with is this. This is my safe seed from earlier this year. My Totem Dean flowered without me noticing it, and it only had a few flowers. It's only produced a little bit of seed, but I've sown them and they seem to be growing. So I'm going to put them up into modules. I've no idea what the other parent was, you know, so it could have been crossed with a kale or cabbage or basically anything in the brassica families. So I'll get these watered, and that's that for today. I've got a bit of harvesting to do, watering these, and then I'm going to go home. So I'll see you later. Actually, I'll show you when I do the harvesting, when I'm picking. Okay, and well, I'll go into my water on first, but I'll be back for that. Well, I've just had an impromptu shower, as my hosepipe exploded when I was watering the onions in. Oh well. Anyway, I'm now going to do some harvesting. I'm having a salad later on, so I'm just going to pop round the beds and pick what I want. Okay, so come with us. There's not that much in this bed. Well, a bit of mustard here. I'm sort of clearing this out, ready for my onions coming later on. Transplanted some of the stuff out of it. Give it a heavy haircut. It's only going to be in here a few more days, hopefully. Another week or so, because my onions are supposed to be coming beginning of September. Let's see, we've got some coriander starting to bolt, so might as well pick some of that. Got a bit of it, nice flavour. Got some parsley here. I'll probably transplant that before I do the onions. Get a bit more of this. I mean, I could let them go to seed, but there won't be enough time before I need to clear them out for the onions. So let's see what I've got here. Now, I've got some rocket. I'm not taking too much of this rocket because I've got some baby rocket in another bed. Just taking off some of these leaves. And that baby rocket needs to be thinned down. Now, there's the label. I made... Yes, yeah, I was right, Mabuna. This is Mabuna, so take a bit of that off each plant. This is going really well, this Mabuna. So I'm trying to pick, video and talk at the same time. I'm trying to keep it on shot as I'm looking where my hand's going. In real life, it isn't necessarily easy. But this is going really nicely. Now I've got some lettuce here. This is Mazur. This was actually in the other bed. I've just transplanted it earlier on. So, trying to be delicate. But it hasn't died off, so maybe the transplant's taken. Take a few leaves at a time. Some of them have got two plants in the same place. Sorry about that. I had a can of Coke and it's now decided to repeat on us. Okay, just take one off, two of that one. Yeah. And now we've got to get round to the other side of the bed. Put this dahlia. Now I could actually put some of the dahlia in the salad. These flowers will make a great colourful addition. But I'm under orders from my mother not to eat me dahlia. She knows me too well. So I'll just settle for lettuce and salad leaves today. This looks like it's got a couple in there. Yeah, so there's a couple of plants in this bit, so I can thin these down. Take some of the perenial spinach. And then we'll go on to the next bed. Hang on, first of all, for a nice citrusy bit to the salad, I'll take some of the leaves from the oca. Now, don't have any courgettes to get today because I picked them all yesterday, but starting to get flower plants, starting to get fruit on this one. There's another couple down here. So we may get some of them soon, and the black beauty's now got one going. That should hopefully be ready in a couple of days. Peas are coming through. And now onto this bed for some more salad leaves. Take some of the corn salad, the mashy I think it's called. First time I've grown it this year, so it tastes quite nice actually. So you can harvest entire rosettes of it, but I think I'll leave it in, let it grow. Just harvest some of the leaves at the time and see how long it'll keep going for. No idea how big the plants get, because everywhere I've seen them, they're always harvesting for small rosettes. It's spinach next. There goes the chug, luckily it stayed upright. So just take some of these leaves. Sorry if you could say so, try not to make you seasick, but the chard's not ready yet. And these next things, all those long radishes. I don't know how long they're going to be. I'm going to pick up a couple. Let's have a look. Oh well, that'll be nice for the salad. Might pick another few of these. Thin the line out a bit. Yeah, that's a nice one. Look at that. It's more like a carrot than a radish, which I can't grow very well, but I've got some. You can probably just see the line there. It was pouring down with rain, so I had to run down and quickly thin them the other week. Now this lettuce isn't ready yet. Just want to go around the other side and get a couple more radish. Try not to spin you around too much. See if there's any nice large looking ones. Don't look as large on this side. I think I'll just do what I've got. So we'll leave those lettuce, and I'm going to thin out some of these rocket plants. I could probably do this in 2 or 3 stages. There's quite a lot in there, so I'll get some baby rocket. Just pull the entire plant and leave the rest in there. Go and do it from the other side as well. Today. This is broccoli rab, and then the kale I'll leave, and something's been eaten in mustard. I think I'll leave some of that for now. And the last bit to get for this is, for the salad, is tree spinach. Look at this. All self-sown. So go around picking off the tops. It doesn't hold full magenta. It does get a slight purpley tinge to the water when you steam it. I'm not sure if it's going to start going to seed soon, but all these were volunteers from last year. Now, when you cook it, it does reduce down, so I'm picking loads of it, because I think my mother wants to cook it up later on as well. Don't have to be gentle with it. And the more you pull off, the more shoots come up back and the more it grows. And you can see here's where it was snipped off previously, and that's encouraged all the side shoots to grow. Okay, I think that's enough of that. And the one thing I do want to do is my florets are now starting to bolt, so I need to harvest them all. So I'll just hold you up here, you can get a downward view as I wrestle one-handed. Okay, I think my battery conked out as I was harvesting some of the stuff there. I'm not sure, I'll check when I get home. But if you found this useful, interesting, different, whatever, why not like, subscribe, share, and I'll see you on my next video. Ta-ra.